Hello everybody, John with you, and it's time again for another unboxing. Yeah, we're going to do an unboxing, and it's going to be another typical John unboxing, whereas I go very technical, giving you all the proper names and all that kind of stuff for each of the parts that are there. So, you know, get ready for that, like be ready for a really technical unboxing. No, that wouldn't be me at all, would it? No. We'll do my usual shooty thing and pointy things and roundy yolks. Yep, they're my technical explanations for it. The kit we're doing, of course, is a TAMIYA kit. It's a 1/35 scale, again, as normal. I do other scales. Yep, I have done other scales. I even done a few jets and aeroplanes and wingy things, and I even did floaty things in the past, but I usually stick to armour, and this time we have armour, and we've got a kind of an unusual one. It's a rare object. It's the Churchill Crocodile. Okay, there's the picture of the box. It's the one that's got the trailer on the back with the all the fluids, all the napalm type stuff in the back of it, sticky flammable liquids, and they shoot it out the front and burn people to death with it. Great fun altogether. But after D-Day, a lot of the Crocodile crews basically dumped the trailer and started using it only as an ordinary Churchill tank, because the Germans considered that the flame throwing tank was inhumane. And technically, when you look, well, I wouldn't say technically, but you know, when you look at it, it's a horrible thing. Then again, war is horrible. People die, and you know, it's not nice. Nobody dies nicely. And you know, our hobby is sort of kind of war related to a certain degree, unless you just go cars and motorbikes and things like that. But anyway, we're back onto this Churchill Crocodile. A lot of them did dump the trailer and use it as an ordinary Churchill tank, but the flamethrower tank was absolutely fabulous at getting people out of you know, bunkers and things like that, because what it does, even if the flame doesn't hit them, the heat from that will draw all the oxygen out, and then they suffocate. So either way, it's quite nasty. But anyway, this is a model kit. This isn't going to burn anybody unless you sort of melt it onto your skin, so don't do that. And we'll go ahead and get it unboxed. We'll do our usual look at the box, we'll look at the instructions, and we look at all the parts. And as you all know, when I do an unboxing, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the condition of the parts, what the plastic is like, any parts that I can recognise, I will tell you what they are. But if I can recognise them, that means you can recognise them too, and you'll be probably telling me what other parts are. I don't want to know. I don't care. Sounds a bit harsh, but true. I was never into the technical side of things, and I'm not going to start now. I'm not a rivet counter. I don't want to be a rivet counter. Sort of as the saying goes, I'm not a rivet counter, I'm a rivet counter's son. I'm only counting rivets till the rivet counter comes. So anyway, lads, let's get stuck in. We'll get the unboxing done, and we'll have a look at what you get inside the box for your money. Okay. Okay, so here we are down at the box. Yes, this is the box. It is definitely a box. It has got a lid and a bottom and closes, and you can put stuff into it. So there you go, there's a box. But anyway, what have we got in the box? It says Churchill Crocodile. It gives a picture of the crocodile with two figures. It does come with a couple of figures in it. It's an artist's rendition rather than an actual photograph of the actual vehicle or the model of the vehicle. But it's a good reference thing that you can use for you know, for painting guide, I suppose you could call it. Yeah. So there's the box art. Nothing really much to it. It's kit number 35100. 35100. It says it's a build for Churchill Crocodile or Churchill Mark 7 with trailer, 2 realistic figures, ready to assemble precision model kit. Okay, it's 1/35 scale and it's from TAMIYA. On the side of the box then it gives a picture of it here. Also shows the 2 figures that you get with it. Right, loads of Japanese writing, which is no good to any of us. On the side then here we've got here we go. It's just basically a copy of the top, and at the side then basically same again, just pictures of it there, probably explaining to you about the trailer, but that's all in Japanese again. It said it's made in Japan as opposed to made in Taiwan, which a lot of them were made afterwards. And this kit is from 1975. Yep, 1975. I was 10 years old when this kit came out. Same age as Abby. Isn't that right, Abs? I was the same age as you when this kit came out. You can speak.
Wait, what?
I was 10 years old when this kit came out. Abby, my daughter, as you probably, if anybody's watched The Bum, you've seen Abby. Abby is 10, so I was Abby's age when this kit came out first. Okay. So anyway, lads, that's I think it's 1975 actually. I was double checking that because I was looking at a different kit earlier on when I got that date from, and I'm not 100% sure if this kit is from 1975 or not. So don't hold me to that just yet, okay? It was another kit that I was half deciding to build next, and I gave Abby a choice of about 5 or 6 kits, and she picked this one for me to do. Okay, anyway, inside the box we've got our instruction sheet. Okay, we've got a separate sheet here for the trailer. We've got our sheet here for pull-out sheet for building the tank part of it. Okay, we'll have a closer look at the instructions in a little while after we go through all the other little bits and pieces. So now, what do we get inside it, right? We get an upper hull, right? We get a lower hull. Now, I'm only just counting the pieces out. We'll have a close look at them in a minute. Right, we've got a bag here with turret parts. We've got our decals. We've a bag here with the sides of the tank with the wheel suspension-y bits and pieces. We've got one here with wheels. We've got tracks. Yeah, it's mostly sort of wheels and suspension-y bits and pieces and some tracks. And then we've got a bag then with all the parts for making our trailer, right? And that's it. Okay, so I'm going to take them all out of their bags. Okay, so we not wasting time cutting open bags and things like that. And then we'll come down and we'll have a look at each of the sprues individually. And like I said, we'll be looking at the condition of the plastic. Does it have any major seam lines in it that have to be removed, and is there any flash and stuff like that on it? You know, how good the moulding basically was. So I'll get them out of the bags and we'll come back and we'll have a look at that. Okay, so we're going to start with the upper and the lower hulls. So let's just we'll zoom in a bit there and we get a closer look at these pieces. Okay, now here's the upper hull. This is all sprue. Okay, so don't worry about what all that is. But the moulding is quite nice on this, I must admit. If you look at it, it's quite nice and deep. They're not raised pans, they're nicely sunk into it. In other words, that'll take a wash quite nicely indeed. There's the escape hatch there, or the entrance and exit. That's very nice. And here is our lower hull. Now, as you see, this is all set out with battery indicators and things where to put the batteries in. So obviously this is one of the kits that was produced in 2 different versions. In other words, you can get a radio controlled version for it, or you can get this version. And as far as I know, back in the day, you could buy the motor as a separate pieces, and you know, basically all the lower hulls came reasonably enough as standard, and then you sort of rig it all up then, and you can have your remote control for it. But they were kind of a horrible remote control because they had a wire out of them, so they weren't that remote, and all you could do really was forward and back. That was it, because it was single motor on them. But anyway, I digress. Here's the upper and the lower hulls. They seem to be quite nice. Plastic is nice. We're not getting any there's no flash. We don't have any seam lines, well, not on this piece anyway, are there, and we don't have any ejector pin marks. They're all here on the inside, so we're not going to be worried about the insides. So there's our first 2 pieces. So good so far, or is that so far so good? Can't remember, whichever. Anyway, on to our next Sprue. Right, our next Sprue has the 2 sides of the turret. Okay, it's got the roof of the turret. We've got some stowage. We've got some boxes there. That's the box that the your man here, Roger, stands on. So we call him Roger and Bob. Okay, Roger and Bob. I have made these figures in the past because I have one of the very first kits I made was the Churchill, not the Crocodile version of it, but it's basically the same sprues are in the ordinary Churchill one. It's just that the Crocodile Churchill has an extra sprue with the trailer on it. Apart from that, everything basically is the same. Right, we've got a 2-piece gun, 2-piece shooty thing. Okay, there's our 2-piece shooty thing. Here's our figures. Okay, Roger and Bob. Is that what I said their names were? Roger and Bob, yes. They'll probably change as thing goes on, because I probably forget what I'm after calling them. Don't worry, it's old timer's disease. I get that quite a lot, as do many of you out there. Many of my subscribers. Yes, we're all kind of getting on a bit, shall we say. That's Sprue D anyway, and it's got the figures, some stowage, the shooty thing, and the main parts of the turret. Next sprue. Okay, on the next sprue we've got our hatches here for the side, the escape hatches for the side. We've got the commander's hatch and driver's hatches as well. We've got the cupola there for cupola for the commander. We've got our main suspension sections here. Oh, what amazes me is they look like real springs, but they're actually they're not. They are molded onto it, but that just goes to show you how good they are, because sometimes when I look at that, it looks as if they are actual springs in there. So that's quite not. That means, you know, that's a good sign. It just goes to show you the quality of the moulding on that. Very nice indeed. Have we got a date on it? 1977. No, not 1975, but 1977 are the mouldings on this one. There you go. TAMIYA, made in Japan, 1977. I was 2 years out. Okay, so it means that I was 12 when this kit came out. And believe me, when I was 12, I'd have given my right arm, leg, body parts for this kit, I can guarantee you that, because these would have been out of my pocket money range, and I was I remember seeing them in the shop alright, and they were so expensive, and I ended up kind of with the 1/72 ones, and even at those I used to have to save up to buy them. But anyway, this is our Sprue C. Okay, we've got our suspension sections, some hatches. We've got the front glacis plate there for for the front of the vehicle. We've got some mud guards and things, and we've got the driver's hatch there, and vision blocks and things. But the condition is very good, I must admit. The plastic seems nice, a couple of seam lines here and there, nothing major, and we don't have any ejector pin marks where they're going to be seen. Oh, I know that was going to fall off. It was eventually going to fall off. It was working its way there. Alright, but thank God it's a big enough piece. Okay, so that is Sprue C. Sprue C.
C.
Yeah, Sprue C bonus. Okay, right, next sprue is Sprue A, and as usual with TAMIYA anyway, Sprue A usually has the wheels, and with the Churchill we've got tons of these little tiny wheels. We've got a load of them. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's 9 per side. 10 per side. My God, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's 10 either side. That's of the little ones, and then we've got the usual drive sprocket, idler, all that kind of thing. We got a couple of shovels there, more hatch covers, spare track sections, and jerry cans. Okay, so that is Sprue A. Right, we get a closer look at those. And all those little wheels. Okay, so that is Sprue A.
Wait, didn't you just do Sprue C?
Yeah, I know. I'm not going alphabetically. That would be sensible to do things alphabetically. And you know me. I'm not alphabetical or sensible. Right, Sprue B. Sprue B. Right, and on Sprue B we have parts that I do not know what they are called. Okay, we've got exhaust part. Yes, exhausty. Yes, I know what the exhaust part is. We've also got our Toro up. Okay, we've got the cover for the exhaust. Another Toro up, and the rest of the parts haven't the faintest idea what they are, but they look lovely. Very, very pretty. We've got some pretty parts. Okay, but we'll have a close look at them anyway there. Okay. That there looks like a little shooty thing, doesn't it? That's probably the bow shooty thing, or the one on the mantle. And as you can see, the moulding on them is very, very nice. It's really, really crisp and precise and all that. So you know, when it comes to giving it a wash and a bit of dry brushing, pin washing, and all those lovely little techniques we use to make things stick out nice, it's got all the nice mouldings for them to, you know, to hug around and slide into and all that kind of good stuff. Right, there we go. That is Sprue B. Sprue B. And finally, the last of our sprues is this sprue here. Right, nice big sprue. It's Sprue E. Right. Right. It's the trailer. Okay. The Bowser. If you want to call it a Bowser, I suppose you could call it a Bowser, fuel Bowser. So we've got all the parts for the trailer. We've got the top and the bottom. We've got our 2 wheels, and the wheels are in 2 parts. We've got all the gubbins of it. Looks pretty damn complicated, but it doesn't look too hard to do, but it just does look a little bit complicated. As in for the real thing, not necessarily this. We do have a bit of flash here on some of these parts. It's quite noticeable. There's quite a bit of cleanup to be done in some of these parts, alright. But the plastic is very nice, I must admit. I do like that plastic. It's nice to do a kit with nice plastic. The last kit I made was an ESCI kit, and the plastic was absolutely flippin' atrocious. It really was. Ended up with a nice kit for a finish after it was painted and all that, excuse me. But in the actual plastic itself, it took ages to build, because when you glue two pieces together, all they wanted to do was fall apart. It took longer for the glue to sort of set up and all that. So it kind of it made the building of it quite awkward. So anyway, we'll have a close look at these parts. We'll start up here and we'll work our way around. Okay, there's the wheels. Okay, now that is Sprue E. That's the last of our sprues. Now, as you saw there, it also comes with some polycaps. Okay, we get some polycaps. They're more than likely for the trailer, because I don't think they're for the vehicle itself, and there's only 4 of them there. So there's some polycaps. We've got our tracks. Okay, now the tracks are nicely detailed, and like I said, I have made this kit before. So I know a lot of you out there absolutely hate the rubber vinyl tracks, but personally I don't mind them at all. Okay, I do not mind them at all. I know it kind of shortens the build, and you know, the Indie Link tracks can be actually quite fun to make, and but they can also be a nightmare. Just remember that they're not always. It's not always the ideal thing. I have had a kit with individual link tracks. I have a Panther there. That's it's a Zvezda one. It's got indie link tracks, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get the tracks to work for it, and it's just back in the box. Just waiting for a spare set of tracks. I might get a set of Frule tracks or something for it. Yeah, you believe me, don't you? I'll pick up a set of tracks for it somewhere. So if anybody's got any spare Panther tracks, let me know. I'd gladly have them off you. Okay, rubber tracks like these, I'm quite happy with. I don't care. I don't know if somebody wants to sort of give me a set of Frule tracks for a Panther, then I'd be even happier again. But then again, I'm not going to purchase them myself. So anyway, there we go. There's the rubber tracks. They are nicely detailed, I must admit. Maybe not so much on the inside, but definitely the outside. They're quite accurate and quite nice. Okay, so there's our tracks, and we get 2 of them, funnily enough, a left and a right. They're not marked left and right because there's no specific left and right on them, but you know, there's our tracks.
Really, I thought there was only tracks on one side of the wheels.
Yeah, you know, sometimes. Anyway, we've got our Decal transfer sticker sheet. Okay, we've got red, yellow and green triangles. We've got sort of a line and a triangle. We've got the usual other triangles. We've got the 40. Oh, that's it. I was looking at it and I wasn't even having it in the view of the camera. How silly of me. Anyway, we've got the 40 in the yellow circle. Just goes to show its bridging weight. If any of you out there doesn't know what that one is for, it shows the bridging weight of the vehicle, 40 tons. We've got some like either Banner or Britain. I might go for Banner because it's sort of, that could be sort of Irish, because the Banner is a river in Clare. What else have we got? we got stars and we got some numbers and things. Okay, so there's the decals. Right, get a nice view of the decals, decals, transfers and the stickers. Okay, so there we go. There's our decal sheet. Now, let's have a look at the instructions. Okay. Like I said, it's a pull-out one. When I look at the instructions, I'm not going to go in and show you each of the steps. We'll do that when we're doing the build series. But when we're doing the unboxing, I just look at the instructions, and all I want to see is how good are they? Is it in booklet form? Is it a pull-out sheet? Is there sort of 9,000 steps in each, and they're all crowded onto one another, so you haven't got a clue what the feck is going on? Or is it nice and neat, and you know, everything shows exactly where pieces go? Or are they vague, like a lot of them can be? You know, this goes here on the side somewhere, wherever you can fit it on. You know, we've all knows those type of kits. So anyway, on the instruction sheet, it gives us a little bit of a rundown there on the Churchill itself. You know, where it was made by Vauxhall Motors. The different versions of it, the Churchill 1, 2 and 3, when they started making them. I know that the Irish Army had a couple of them after the war, or actually I think they bought them during the war, actually, believe it or not. So the Irish Army even had the Churchills. So instructions. This is a separate little pull-out sheet with the instruction for making the trailer. So that's actually quite nice. There doesn't seem to be too many, shall we say, steps. There's only 5 steps, and step 5 is actually just showing you to fit it on. So the actual building steps of it, we've got 4 building steps. They seem to be pretty straightforward, not too many things in each of the steps. Okay, so that's handy. We're on to the main thing now, where we start off. Start to finish, we've got 9 steps. 9 steps. Now with 9 steps, usually it means that they could be pretty crowded. So we'll have a look. Well, they're clear, they're precise. It just shows, you know, a couple of pieces in each step. As you can see there, right? Gives a nice explanation, and very, very nice little pictures of what the actual finished thing should look like as well, which is very, very handy. Okay. Also has the making up of the figures, what the figures look like. Making the turret, fitting the turret on, putting on the fenders, all that kind of thing. I know motorbikes outside up and down the bloody road. So anyway, the steps seem to be quite nice actually. There's not too much in each of the steps. It's not too it isn't too difficult, shall we say. Painting the trailer, the inside of the trailers and things like that. So you know, it's pretty straightforward. Not too much. Not overloading you with information and telling you to do loads of steps within the one thing and making it complicated. There we've got our decal placements. So we've got the 79th Armoured Division of the 141st Regiment. We've got the 34th Armoured Division of the 107th Regiment. And that's it. Oh, we've got another one here. Now, winter camouflage. So we can do it in winter camouflage as well, which is quite nice. It doesn't give any decals for that. And it gives us kind of a sprue map or parts layout. Okay, so that's it, lads. That's it for the unboxing. Don't forget to stay tuned to the channel for the build updates on this. I will be starting this straight away. I'm going to get stuck straight into this. Going to start building this, and don't forget, like I said, stay tuned to the channel, and I will be doing a step-by-step build on this. Well, my type step-by-step building of this, where I do a step, I show you the step, I build it, come back, we'll have a look at it in discussion. So stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you have already subscribed. Thank you, I do appreciate it. And when it comes to the video, if you want to give it the old thumbs up, give it a thumbs up. If you want to give it a thumbs down, give it a thumbs down. You know, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but if you do give it a thumbs down, let me know why you're giving it a thumbs down. Is it from my sort of lack of technical jargon? Then tough, go to one of the channels that gives you loads of technical jargon. There's plenty of them out there. I'm the type of builder I am is I'm a hobbyist, a hobby builder. I do it because I enjoy it, not because I want to be technically correct in any way, shape or form. I do it because I enjoy it and it passes time. Okay, so I'll catch you on the next one, lads. Stay safe. In the meantime, go out and buy yourself a kit. You build it and you enjoy it, because that's what it's all about. Okay, it's all about building and enjoying. I'll catch you on the next one, lads. Stay safe.